Guys, we've got a very special guest coming in today. We've got Barb the Budtender coming in to share her journey of becoming a Budtender. Now, Barb is also my mom. She's a medical cannabis patient, decided to take the bull by the horns, get behind the counter, see how legal cannabis really works from the inside out. Now, I know a lot of people, myself included, think we might know everything there is to know about cannabis, right? But she's the one taking the classes. She's the one doing the tests. She's got the inside scoop of what it takes to really sling some green in the legal world. Barb, Mom, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. You call me Mom, young man. I'm your mother.
Your mother. Sorry, Mom. Mom, mother. So,
not
we're talking.
Not only am I doing cannabis now, I grew cannabis back in the 70s.
You grew it.
I've been at it a long time.
Oh my goodness. See, I didn't know about this. Barb the Budtender was the grower too. Okay. Well, actually, we'll start there. Like, how did, so you've gone all the way from growing weed in the 70s to becoming a Budtender in the legal age. How did you get from there to here?
Well, in the 70s, your father and I grew what we call Dover clover. And marijuana back then was you just lopped off the top of the plant and smoked it. So it was all giggles and being hungry. When I got older, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but when I got older, I found that I needed medication for my aches and pains, and I had an immunization disease. So I started doing marijuana again. After doing that, I said, well, why don't I get into it and find out what the business is all about? So I started taking the classes. I passed my first series of tests. I'm going for my second. And in another 2 weeks, I'll be working at a up-and-coming bud store.
Oh, my goodness. So wait, so you just decided one day, hey, I'm going to go get the test. Do you just like Google this online, or is there a school you go to?
Yep, I Googled online and found that the state of New Jersey has a 26-hour course that you have to take. It's in 2 sections. There's 50 questions on each test, and you have to have a 70 to pass before you can even be a Budtender.
Okay, so
the course is pretty extensive.
It's so that's part 1, right? What's the part 2?
Part 1 is biochemistry.
Okay.
When I graduated from Rutgers University, I have a degree in biochemistry. So I thought this course for the state of New Jersey would be simple. It's complicated. You have to have a 70 to pass. I did the course and passed with an 88. Yep, without cheating.
That's a solid B plus.
I passed that.
Say.
The second course is about it's not biochemistry, but it's how to deal with the customer, how to prescribe, and how to deal with any problems they may have.
Oh. So, I mean, you have a little bit of a scientific background, especially with your education, but how in depth does that science get? Like, how intense are they mincing words?
It's very intense. You have to know the biochemical processes on how the cannabinoids and the terpenes react to the human anatomy. I don't know how a lot of these kids, I hate to call you kids, but your kids pass this test because it's very complicated. It's very in-depth. You have to know all the pathways that the marijuana or the cannabinoids and the terpenes take in the body to cause reaction and to cause medical reactions. So a lot of the test has to do with medical prescribing and medical cannabis.
Can I ask you something? Like, from coming from the 70s into the middle of kind of the scientific element of it, has anything been disproven from what was the reality that you lived within the 70s to now? Like,
the reality of the 70s was that we really didn't understand then what it was about marijuana that was making us high, that was causing us to have relief from pain. So we didn't know the science behind it. In the 70s, we grew it in the backyard or in the woods. Right. You'd cut off the top of the plant. We didn't go just for the buds. There were lots of seeds and stems. So we really had no science behind it. It was just a bunch of kids growing a plant and smoking it and hoping the cops didn't catch us.
Right. So we're becoming a Budtender. How far along are you in the process? How much further do you have to go?
I finished the first portion of the test. I have another 6 hours to go, and then I'll be licensed. So I'm just waiting for the store that I'm going to be working for to open up. And that should open up in the next 2 weeks or so.
So you're licensed, you're qualified, you go in.
I go in and I do it.
It's a beautiful thing. Has there
What's
been anything
crazy,
that surprised you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It was crazy is in New Jersey, it's suddenly opening up. Non-medical dispensaries are now opening all over the place. Mm-hmm. In my town where I'll be working, in a stretch of 5 miles, there are 6 new stores opening.
6.
So there's a big need for bud tenders.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. And as far as you know, is that happening kind of all over the state?
It seems to be happening all over the state. In the last 2 weeks, I've seen just in northern New Jersey, 4 stores open up.
Oh, wow. That is a lot. So in your education, kind of becoming this bud tender, going into that direction, has there been any surprises you've run into? Anything like, I never thought that would be true?
I'm amazed by how the terpenes affect at least the medical portion of marijuana.
Right.
There are so many terpenes and so many cannabinoids, and the way that they are combined and work together, the biochemistry of it is fascinating. It really is fascinating. I never expected that there was such intense medical or physiological reaction in people to the different strains, the different combinations of chemicals in the pot itself.
So as you've kind of learned about those chemicals, I know there's like things like CBN does this, CBD does this, THCV does this. If I came in and asked, hey, can you give me something for pain? Can you just point to one cannabinoid and say, this one's high in that will do it? Or do you have to kind of look at the other things?
You have to look at everything together. Each of the cannabinoids has a different reaction in the body, but they are all in homeostasis with each other. So they all depend upon each other. The terpenes, what terpene combination you have, and the cannabinoid combination. So as a bud tender, I can't prescribe. I don't have that medical background. But if a customer came in and said, hey, look, I really want something to help me sleep. I want something to help take care of this pain, but I don't want to end up eating a lot. I would be able to direct them to a strain that might fit the needs that they have. Gotcha. The first question I ask any customer who comes in is, why are you here? What are you looking for? And then if they need my assistance, I can direct them to a strain or a brand that we have that can meet those needs.
Do you think you're bringing anything to the game that somebody younger might not be bringing? This is not a normal course of action for a lot of people.
Well, I'm 70. So for a 70-year-old to be in with all the youngsters, I bring a sense of security to older customers coming in. Mm-hmm. They see my gray hair and know that I'm like them. I am feeling what they're feeling. I can understand what they're looking for. Also, a lot of the older customers coming in haven't smoked or vaped or done anything since the 70s. So they have no idea even how to take the marijuana. How do they eat it? Do they smoke it? Do they dab it? What do they do? Right. So they're more likely to come to me to ask because they won't feel embarrassed or feel like they're stupid and not with it like the kids are.
Yeah. No, and I think that's incredibly important. That's a huge group of people that's coming to this right now.
What's really funny is a lot of the 70-year-olds who did it in the 70s are all coming back to it now. So many people are interested. Mm-hmm. They want alternatives to the pain medication they're taking now. Mm. They want alternatives to the sleep medications. So more and more people my age, more and more retirees are coming in to try it out again, to see what the new cannabis is like. And the new cannabis is nothing like the old stuff.
That's what I hear. Well, Barb, Mom, Mother, thank you so much. This has been amazing. I'm really excited about this journey. I hope you come back, tell us more about it as you get further along in it.